My name is Delvin Oliver, and today I'm here at a private screening of the most talked about movie in Liberia, No Not Me. Good thing for us is that we're in company today with the lead character in this movie. This woman executed this movie so well, man, it became a reality for many. Let's get to talk to Shiana Caselle, who played Precious in the movie. Welcome to a Kevin 2 special.
Thank you.
How are you? You look very beautiful as
Very green.
I guess
I know we're matching. No, I feel very good. I'm nervous. I'm actually nervous about the screening today, but I feel good, you know? Yeah.
I think you did a good job.
I hope so.
Well, anyway, so tell us a little bit. Let's get to know about Precious. Who is she, and what, does this character teach us?
So Precious is a very ambitious young lady. She is going after a government job. She's also madly in love with her fiance and getting ready to get married. And of course, she has to pass through some obstacles to make this happen. But she's persistent. She's determined. She's also someone who doesn't like injustice, so she's a fighter.
Wow.
Yeah, I love the character.
I know. I heard. I heard, and that she's a returnee.
She's a city girl.
Okay.
Very quick.
To civilize her life.
She's a city girl, right? And she is told to go to the village, and she has to go to the village for some time to be accepted into this family. And it was very tough for her. I feel like this role was truly made for me.
Wow.
Because exactly what she did was exactly what I would do. It was very fun, acting in the movie, but it was one of the hardest movies to act in.
Wow. I mean, did this movie impact you in any way?
Absolutely. It taught me, so the movie, although it's entertaining and it's a fictional movie, the movie focuses on FGM. And, prior to this, I knew what FGM was,
right.
Female genital mutilation, but I didn't know how deep this went into our culture, especially here in Liberia.
Right.
It's all over Africa,
right.
But especially here in Liberia. And I remember hearing in the news that, they had banned FGM, but then I also realized that it was actually still happening in the very village, believe it or not, the very village that we shot the movie in. We were doing a scene about this, and the villagers were standing around watching. And I remember after the scene was over, like everybody was in tears. I looked up, everybody was crying. And there was one lady that came and whispered in my ear and said to me, they want us to leave. They want us to leave.
Wow.
The villagers are angry that we're actually shooting this, telling their secret, putting their business out.
Wow.
So that was really, really scary. Just to know that it is still going on. As much as it is banned, it is still happening in Liberia.
But come to think of it, this is something that has been indoctrinated into our culture.
It's tradition, it's tradition.
What I mean, like, I as you're explaining, I'm getting like a vivid picture of what you're saying and how that could, come across. But what is one thing you would remember from this movie?
One thing I remember that particular scene. I remember when the villagers were like, you guys have to leave. You got to get out of here. And I didn't realize how serious it was until a couple of different people came to tell me they don't want us here. They don't want us here. And I was like, what's happening? So we decided to just end the shooting, right? We get in the car to leave, and the bus that's taking the cast, the tire gets slashed.
Oops.
And so we're like, uh-oh. It's about to go down. It's getting dark. What are we going to do?
They are coming.
I won't lie to you. I was scared. I was terrified. You hear all these stories and I'm like, I just prayed a lot while sitting in the car waiting. But, we got out of there and we did not return to shoot the next day. We had to find another location. But that was one of the most memorable parts of shooting the movie.
Well, there you have it. I mean, Precious is telling us all about her experience for No Not Me. I'm going to be talking to way more people here. Almost all of the cast are going to be here today. So, again, this is a KMTV exclusive. You want to stay with me as I talk to the next person. Thank you so much, Ms. Shiana Caselle, for joining me today in conversation on the No Not Me movie. Just before you go, when can people expect to, watch this
To
movie?
preview the movie. Okay, so there's going to be a public screening in April.
Okay.
And so that screening we don't have the date yet, but it's coming up soon, but we'll announce it. There's a No Not Me movie Facebook and Instagram page.
Okay.
So everybody needs to follow that. And then you'll just get updates as the movie is coming out.
Make sure to follow No Not Me on both Facebook and Instagram. And of course, I'm your host. This is a KMTV exclusive. I'll see you on the other side. Some of you know him as the Jute Man. Many across the world, Africa, know him as the lover boy in his movies. Ladies and gentlemen, I have with me the star of Liberia, Mr. Frank Artus. How you doing, my brother?
Thank you very much for having me here.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
I mean, this No Not Me movie. First of all, let's go back a little bit. Give me your motivation about this movie. What inspired you to, venture in this movie? Because it's a little different from your usual character. Give me a little idea about
And
it.
that's exactly why I got inspired, because it's a little different from the usual character that I play. So after reading the script of No Not Me, I saw something unique that I always wanted to be part of. I always spoke about the rapid growth of the disadvantaged youth. I always was very curious to know things on FGM. So I think reading the script caught my attention of, okay, not many directors, producers in Liberia call me for film. Maybe they feel that whatever.
Of course, the distinction
Yeah,
between.
but I needed this opportunity to
Right.
be able to explore the side of the FGM side, the disadvantaged youth side, and something different of the normal anticipation of Frank Artus, what people always anticipate of me.
You also portrayed a dancer in this movie. Like, I didn't know you could dance. I mean, I don't know. Like, was it for the movie, or was it a natural talent that you had?
Surprisingly, I can dance. And truthfully speaking, I don't club.
Okay.
And I guess because I don't go out, that's why I don't dance. But I love dancing. That's the crazy part.
Very
of it.
confusing for me.
Yeah,
Very confusing.
I love dancing. So when I saw that pad, and I was so excited. Yeah, I was excited. And then, quote unquote, guess what? Who am I dancing with? Shiana.
How was that for you? Like dancing with this, I mean, with this city girl, blah blah. Like all the different things that she come with. How was it?
I think I'm an Indian film lover, so I just love the room. I was just icing with Swan.
Living your
I just
best
lived
life.
My best life.
I
And
see.
I think I enjoyed myself very well.
That's good.
And even the trailer of No Not Me when I first watched it, I saw that that's a clip of the dance. So I had to go back
And watch again.
and watch again.
Okay, you played Gus in this movie.
Yeah.
Right. Tell us about your character as Gus, because this is a very, it's like you said, it's a mixture of two different characters in reality for you. Like you're normally like the superhero guy in your movies, but for this role you had to be a little different. Tell us about your character.
I think why I liked the character Gus, because for me he was very sensitive. Yeah, he knew exactly what he wanted. At the same time, he just couldn't let his love go for any other reason. So the character Frank Artus with Gus, or the normal anticipation of what
Yeah.
Frank Artus would do in the film with Gus, is a big difference. And being a minister, the first time we're shooting the scene of the minister, I was a little tense because I don't know how to act like a minister. But then I had to put in my best with the help of the director Allison, and of course Jera. I mean, it's a normal thing that every actor will have that little
Yeah,
thing
freezing
at the
moment.
first time
Right.
when working with directors or something. But Gus, this character was one of those characters I've played in the last maybe 20 years in my career, that the uniqueness, the sensitivity around his character kept going. At one point in time, I just didn't want, I felt that he had less singing. I think I needed to have more,
More
singing.
singing.
Yes.
Wow, interesting. So, you know, the Civil War. This movie for me, like when I watched the premiere, it spoke about different things to me. Even though there is a FGM thing and all of that stuff, but there is a lot of diversity in this movie. You were the Minister of Youth and Sport in the movie, and also the foster brother to the Zogo leader.
Yeah.
Tell us about that dynamics. Like, what was it like in a sense?
So that is just so the normal day's activities of what we encounter in our country. There are a lot of disadvantaged youth that we have to deal where each of us have been related to one way or the other.
Of course.
So realizing that his foster brother is part of it and demanding his son, I think again it shouldn't go down well with him. But at a cut-off point, he needed to follow suit. Otherwise, probably things would have gone out of proportion, and he would have held himself responsible. And at one point in time, someone told me, say, in order to get someone out of where they are, you have to be with them to
Right.
get them out.
Right.
So he had to work with the flow to make what exactly he needed to achieve for the disadvantaged youth.
Wow. Interesting. I mean, this is a very deeply rooted story that is resonating with all of us, like you said, in Liberia today, and we're testaments to what this story depicts. Like he said, we're one way or the other connected to these people who we refer to as Zogos and what have you. But I mean, just one last question. What can we expect next after No Not Me from Frank Artus?
Honor the Butterflies production. I know that we have a couple of work
Okay.
that we with Liberian Butterfly. I know there are a couple of work in line. I know that this is not, No Not Me is not the bus stop for
Right.
this production. So Frank Artus will always act with Butterfly, and will always act other producers
Right.
like in Ghana, Nigeria, even in Liberia. But I think Butterfly is, if not one of the biggest, it is the biggest right now
Right.
in Liberia.
Right.
And we need to give it all of the support that she needs to be able to bring out more quality production that represent our culture and promote our heritage of Liberia. And I think No Not Me is just a stepping stone for where we are. So I expect nothing less than the best
Absolutely.
for Frank Artus.
Absolutely. There you have it. No, Not Me is indeed a stepping stone. It just got started. Liberia is about to get better. You heard it from his mouth himself. And ladies and gentlemen, we have many more casts to talk to. I'll see you soon. I have with me the brain behind the movie No, Not Me. I mean, this movie is fascinating, it's mind-blowing, and who best to ask questions than the person who birthed this idea? Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our director, hopefully director of the year, Ms. Allison Brown.
Thank you.
How are you, ma'am? How are you? You look really
I'm fine.
amazing today.
Thank you so much, Delvin. You know just what to say. Make me calm down.
Oh,
I
thank
still
you.
get jittery in front of the camera.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much,
Yes.
ma'am. I'm honored. I'm honored. Ma'am, you wrote this fascinating, mind-blowing blockbuster movie of love, romance, different characters, personalities. I'm curious to know, and I'm sure the viewers are also curious to know, what inspired you to write this movie?
Well, first of all, let me say that I'm a Christian. Even though some people think Christianity is outdated, I base my whole life on it. And I get all my stories and my movies or whatever I want to write, I get them in dreams. And God reveals them to me in a dream, and I get up and I jot down the main points, and the next day I start to write. So this particular story, I've always wanted to write about FGM because I know the hazards that they cause in the lives of young people, young women.
Yeah.
And then when I moved back to Liberia in 2017, there was a Zogo crisis. I just decided to merge the two ideas, even though I already had my script about FGM. So I would say what inspires me the most, besides my prayer life, is the social issues that we encounter every day and that people don't really pay attention to on just a everyday basis, everyday life. You see it in the news, okay, you hear all the facts, but I think movies impact people even more than the news because people fall in love with the characters.
Right.
They fall in love with the story. And then the fact that these issues are addressed, it makes them want to learn more about the issues and possibly do something about them.
Absolutely. I think that's a very brilliant mindset as to where this story comes from, because it's not just another movie that was written out of no context, but it actually speaks to our day-to-day and what's happening. And then this hopefully would shed more light on all of these different present social issues that we have unfolding in Liberia. And I'm hoping that we can have more impactful stories from you
Exactly.
and other people out there as well. But now that the movie has been produced, what would you say was your expectation met in any way, shape, or form about this movie?
So I'm actually a writer by profession, besides being a businesswoman. And I remember when I wrote when my first story was published was in 2000 in Abidjan. And since I was in a French-speaking country, I had to write the story in French. I've had so many stories,
Right, so many.
but the one that really caught my attention was The Butterfly and the Rainbow. And the story was selected by the Ministry of Cultural Affairs in Ivory Coast to be depicted in a play.
Wow.
And so I didn't know about it. Just called me one day, oh, we like your story and we're going to do a skit on it, you know. And so they had 500 or more children in the audience.
Wow.
And these people read and played the tam-tam and danced and acted out my story.
Wow.
I think that's the first time I was overjoyed, sure, but I was like, this is my story. Oh my goodness, can
your
you do this?
imagination,
Yeah,
right.
can you do this with the story?
Right.
Okay. And I was just so happy. And I'm thinking about another story, The Elephant and the Lion, that I did. And that one was actually performed here in Liberia and still is being performed by the National Cultural Troupe here.
Wow.
Many years ago in, I think it must have been 2007.
Wow.
Yeah, so when you write something and you see them acting it out and reading it, it warms your heart, and you listen to your own words, and of course you want to correct it. I shouldn't have said that. You know, maybe I should have said it this way. But I mean, it's already out there in the public domain, and you have a sense of self-fulfillment and a sense of happiness and a sense of thanksgiving that God gave you the story.
Wow.
So coming to No Not Me, when during the auditions, you hear different people auditioning in all kinds of ways, and some of them are comical and some of them are just so serious. You're like, I didn't mean to be that serious, you know, or I didn't mean to be that comical. And when you find the right people that express your sentiments that might not have been written, because you can't write everything you feel in one or two lines, but you know what you feel when you wrote it. And when you find those people, it captivates what you're feeling in your soul about your movie. And they read it and you know right away that's the person.
Right.
And when you see them actually acting it, you cry. You know, you get home sometimes you're like, God, is this me? Is that my story? It is a fascinating, and you fall in love
Right.
with your craft all over again. I'm totally in love with filmmaking and writing. Writing the scripts, you know, co-directing, you know, doing all the movie sets, finding the clothes. I just love it, and I can't see my life without it right now.
Wow. As you're talking, there's one word that's coming to me, and that's passion. I can hear so much passion in your voice about what you're doing and how much you love it. And I believe that should be the driving force behind any project, any initiative, any business, whatever you're trying to do. Once there is passion, there is a will and there is a way to go about it. Now, you touched on it a little bit, but I want to expand on this when it comes to the characters in the movie. We saw the likes of Shiana Caselle alongside Frank Artus and Owusu and all of these great people and so forth. Like, how did you come about being so specific and intentional as to sparking these individuals and saying, I want them to play individual roles?
It's sort of like an automatic attraction. When you meet someone and you know that they fit the role. And when they read the role, you also see that you can get along with the person. Because it would be terrible to make a movie with people that you really don't like, but you know they can act. So it just so happened that we got along well. And there was a really great chemistry between all my actors, my stars, Shawana and Frank. They fell in sync with each other as a couple would, even though it was just a movie. You know, they understood the body language. They understood the coded words. They understood how to glance and when to glance and what each glance meant. And I think that's important when you find people to work together.
Right.
In the case of Lopu, the little girl Susan Voulaire, and her mom Naomi Gofa, who is someone we found at the last minute.
Wow.
But she is such a good actress.
She embodied the character so well.
You know, and I just, to tell you the truth, I love everybody that I worked along with. They, you know, we had our moments like any other human beings,
Of course.
but to tell you the truth, I would say that 95% of the actual day-to-day filmmaking experience was great. Maybe 5% had a little bit of, you know, technical problems or a little
That's
personality problem,
Yeah.
but only 5%.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big achievement, because many times you go on set and the characters or the actors and actresses are breaking down, they're forgetting their lines and all of these different things, or having some sort of whatever commotion or whatever going on. But I mean, that's a plus. That means the director did a very good job.
Thank you. And I think it's important just to know how to pet each person's, you know, I love to study people. If I know this person is testy, I will always flatter that person to kind of bring them back down.
Right.
You know, if I know the person is tough, you know, and I want them to be soft, you know, I know what to say.
Psychology.
So exactly.
Yeah.
I never really was what I studied psychology maybe, you know, freshman year or something. But that's not really my thing. But I love people. And I love to make them happy because I wanted my cast to be happy. And I believe they were happy on set. And because they were happy, they did their best to portray the characters as they should have been portrayed, or even better. Because this movie, the cast and the crew worked together, you know, very, very well. And I believe that it exceeded my expectations because everyone was so hyped up, because everyone was so happy to be in it, and because they practiced their lines and they were good at, you know, delivering. You know, so we didn't have to keep cut, reshoot, you know, one or two times. That was it. And my co-director, I must mention his name because he's not here today, Gerald K. Barkley. Gerald is my small brother from back in the day when I first started making films. And he has taught me a lot. He's a genius in film. And I'm happy that I was able to collaborate with him on this project and other projects. Because just working along with him, you see things that you didn't know you could see.
Right.
Okay, the eye for the camera. You know, I may have the words, but
Right.
the eye means
Right. I
everything
mean,
what the person
Even
sees.
the cinematographic of the way the movie looks, the trailer that we watched was just very captivating, and everybody's. I know social media has been going crazy about making different assumptions and saying a lot of stuff like, oh, but there is a huge expectation of people wanting to watch the movie.
There's something I would like to also state, and it's the fact that No, Not Me is a love story. It's a work of fiction. People tend to believe it's a documentary, and it's not. Okay? It's a work of fiction that has addressed social issues. And therefore, there's a lot of fiction in it, but that does not belie the fact that there are some important information in it.
Yeah.
So people should take it for what it is.
Absolutely.
Don't try to think it's a BBC or CNN. It's not. It's for entertainment as well as to provoke deep thoughts on issues.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously there will be speculation, but provoking deep thoughts is what this movie is all about. I mean, now that we are here today at the private screening, I know obviously this is, I wouldn't want to say beginning because I know there's been many other projects before this. What can we look forward to after No Not Me? Because from the look of things, like I said in the beginning, I think you might be Director of the Year. I'm hoping so.
You're so kind.
What can we expect?
It's a secret.
Ooh.
But I do have a script already written. And also as thought-provoking and also dealing with some issues that need to be addressed.
Wow.
So it's a secret, but it's coming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. She said we should sit tight, buckle up, matter of fact, because she's going to blow your socks off, Liberia. And hopefully the world at large going to get to see that good content, such as No Not Me and many other movies, can come from Liberia. We're hoping that all of her expectations would be met as she continued to write mind-blowing and fascinating movies and stories for us here as well. Thank you so much for writing this inspiring story. From me to you personally, I'm so grateful that something of this nature was written, because it's a situation that many people deal with, but it's also a taboo that you can talk about in our society as well. So, thank you so much for writing this movie. We appreciate your hard work, and we pray that it go as far as it can get.
Delvin, I'm truly grateful that people actually want to hear what I have to say. So thank you too for this opportunity to discuss the movie. Thank you very much.
And on that note, again, it's another KMTV exclusive. I'm here at the No Not Me screening, private screening for cast and crew members only. And I'll see you with the next.
And our sponsors.
And our sponsors, yes. And the sponsors as well. Definitely. I'll see you on the other side.
Here, Eddie, where you can take your sister's place. And he is a fantastic guy in that he did all the choreography for the movie. This is Eddie Mansfield, Shiana Caselle, who is a superstar in her own right. Of course, my guy, Usher, he's a cinematographer, a camera guy. Anything that has to do with the camera, just call him. He does some really, really great work. I'm trying to see Miss Coco. Everybody has a mother, right? So Miss Coco Cora is the mother of Shiana. So Mom, he's gonna stand by your daughter.
And so we've seen the movie. I'm telling you, man, the room is full. It's been such a wonderful, educative, fun, and entertaining film premiere here tonight. I'm so excited. I'm really, really excited looking at this movie. It has taught me so much lesson. But I mean, I wouldn't want to give you so much just because, hey, I want you to wait for the expectation.
So much.
I have some of the cast and crew members who were really, really, really key members of this movie. Let's talk to, I would say, the weekend mother-in-law. But let's get her first and see. This is also a KMTV exclusive while she's coming on. Come on, mama. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Oh my God, I'm so good. I'm good. Thank you so much. First of all, I want you to tell me about your character in this movie.
Wow. My character was Nimani, God's mother.
Yeah.
And I played a villain part in the movie.
You were really wicked though.
You think so?
But yeah, I mean, so you were this mother-in-law who believed in tradition, and you were very committed to your religion. I mean, to your cultural practice and traditions and so forth. Like, what would you say to people who are found within that situation today in Liberia and across Africa?
Well, it is very bad. We're just trying to let people know out there that FGM is not a good thing. And playing our part, it was very challenging for me. But you know, I love villain role. I love to be the villain in a movie. Yeah, but it's not my character anyways.
Well, obviously, you look like such a sweet person. I mean, take a look at her, guys. She looks so sweet. Oh. Well, I mean, you executed that role so well.
Yeah.
For a moment, I had to pause and think okay, this is a movie, because I had to keep telling myself it's fiction. Because when I saw you with the blade and all of those things in the Zoe bush and all of that stuff. But I mean, what's one lesson this movie has taught you?
A lot. Even there was a point in time when we were doing the shooting when that little girl, we did her stuff, and the villagers saw it was really real. And that's when they came to themselves and said, oh, these people trying to expose our tradition. And can you imagine in that village where we had that the shooting done, they were already doing it.
Wow.
Practicing it. So they came right there, and then they told us to stop, or they're gonna call their souls. So that was the last scene we did in that village.
Wow.
So it was not an easy thing.
Wow. Well, I mean, thank you so much for sharing your talent, your skills with Liberia and the world at large. You are such a phenomenal actress. I mean, I can't wait to see. Is there any other project that we can expect from you anytime soon?
Oh, so many projects coming up.
I mean, I cannot wait. Are you going to be more of a villain?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
It looks like we have a villain character in Liberia now. Thank you so much for joining us on this exclusive. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Of course, guys, more cast to talk to. I'm here at the private premiere of No Not Me movie. This is a KMTV exclusive. Stay with me as I talk to more people. As you know, content is never graceful and beautiful in Liberia without this young lady right here. Hello, Natasha, the content queen of Liberia.
Hi, Delvin.
So, I mean, tell me, you are here at the premiere today. How did you, first of all, what's your overall idea of, this movie? How did you view this movie? What does it mean to you?
Honestly, it's crazy to see what goes on in the bush, because we know we've been hearing Zoe bush, but to actually hear what goes on in the Zoe bush and the female genitation, yeah, that's crazy. That's insane. I can't even imagine the pain and the things that women actually go through because of education. Because at the end, it all goes down for education, because of education. Right. So I just feel like if there's a way, we just need to educate our people. Because even if you actually watch the movie carefully, you could see the woman came to her and said, let your daughter go to school. She was like, that city life is not for her. Or she has to marry a man. So the man can support me and support the family. But right. I feel like it's 2024. Women can actually go and do these things. Women, you don't have to wait for a man for you to get married. You don't have to marry a chief for your family to be good. As a woman, you can go to school, work, and support your family. So I think it's just education that we need to work on.
I mean, coming from another city girl.
I felt very offensive when she said, the girls don't know how to cook. I be chefing it up at home, okay?
I'm a witness.
I have a man that's been with me for 6 years. If I didn't know how to cook, you really think he'll still be with me? No.
Well, I mean, there you have it. But listen, I have this one question because I know you're also an actress.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, shout out to.
Delvin making a debut.
Well, you know, I try. But I mean, like you been an actress as well. Like, can we expect something from you anytime soon? Anything in your closet?
Okay, so I do know I did do a movie and a series 2 years back, and then they're supposed to be coming out this year. So hopefully y'all will see me on your big screen soon.
Okay, screen goddess, I see you.
And I am working on 2 short movies this year. So hopefully that will be something too that will be out.
Perfect, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining me on here. Please have yourself a wonderful evening. There you have it. Many more great people at this place. Influencers, influential people in society, you know, dignitaries are all here coming out to spice and support this initiative. Thank you so much for staying with me. Oh, and I have the Moluba from the movie. He was the character Moluba in the movie. Hey, Moluba, how are you?
I'm okay, though, man. Okay.
Thanks for joining me on here.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Damn, my man. Like, to be honest, let me calm down small because they say the people for this, you know. Let me calm down to the village level. But my man, like, I couldn't tell the difference between you in the movie and you in reality because, like, there's a complete drastic shift, you know, that happened right now. So tell me about your character because I saw that you were very helpful to not just Precious but also Lapu, like, and you were friends of the. Were you related to the family in any way?
Yeah, related to the family.
So you are related to Gus' mother.
Gus' mother and
Okay, so that made you Gus' cousin, little brother, what?
nephew.
Nephew. Okay, great. So, I mean, like, I know it's not you though. That's not you. But Moluba, you. Okay. What made you to pick up the phone and call Gus to say, hey, you know, like you have to come right now? Precious isn't problem. What made you do that? Because you could have also said, okay, I believe in the tradition, let it happen, blah blah blah. What made you to do that?
Yeah, it was the spirit of change. It was the spirit of change. Because when you really watch the movie, there was so many different, you know, our young girls getting infected, you know, carry on these harmful practices. So although I'm related to them and the village, I'm in the village, yeah. So there's a need of change that I did. I needed change, yeah. So when I called and then he came right away. I didn't do it because I like her. I didn't do it because of that. I did it because there is a change need to be done.
Wow, I mean, he said something very striking, and I'm hoping that each of you who's watching this interview would know that you have to make a change because change is very important. Like you can have one mindset, but something has to prompt you to be able to make a drastic change. And I think your decision was really excellently great in the movie. I mean, thank God you had Jesus in your heart small. You know, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And we're hoping to see you on the big screen more.
Thank you, bro.
All right. I mean, great cast, great movie, storyline is amazing. We got more people here to talk to. So please stick and stay with me as I talk to more people.
My name is Eddie Mensko. I'm a dancer, choreographer, and I've been living outside Liberia. I just came back home. Yeah, so I was very happy to be.
Well, I first of all love what you're wearing. Like, this is so detailed, and you know, like, it's giving me LIB. You know.
Yeah. It does.
In the movie, you were doing the choreography in the movie.
Yeah.
Give me your inspiration behind what you were doing in this movie. Like, what inspired your mindset to create what you created?
It was all Allison's idea. She brought the music, and she told me to make the dance to the music, and I just went with the flow, you know.
Because the choreograph is so unique that I know all of the steps, they are like regular steps from here and there, but the way you cultivated them and put them together, it seemed like you were telling a story.
Yes, we were telling a story. The dance went according to the film. Okay. Right. Yeah. So everything just landing perfectly.
Can we expect more choreography from you?
Oh, yeah, much more. Don't worry.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me on here. I appreciate you so much, and thank you for contributing to No Not Me.
Thank you very much.
All right. When I saw this woman's character in the movie, for a minute, I was a little frightened because she executed. Is that? Can you do the eye for me? Can you look into the camera and do the eye for me?
Oh, yes, I can do it.
Look.
It goes like this. A mistake that could take away her life.
Is that for me? She played the chief Zoe in this movie, and I tell you, man, she executed it at the T of the word. Like I'm so proud of you. To be honest, I'm so super proud of you. Thank you so much. Like I know it might have been such a challenge for you playing this role, looking at everything. I'm not even sure you've been to the village like that before, So tell me a little bit about this role. Like, what did you do to prepare yourself for, embodying this character?
Okay, the thing is, that was my first time acting as a zoo. Since I've been acting for the
Past
past
5 years.
5 years, that was my first time acting as a zoo. So what I did was to do a research on zoos, things that they do, to bring their character up. And then I calculated on my own background. I grew up in a Muslim and a vibe, how they do things. So I said, I can make it. And I look at myself, I said, I can make it. And I made it. And that's it.
You made yourself really proud.
Thank
I
you.
must say. So what is I mean, the story centered around part of the story centered around what you guys were doing in the Zobuch, right? As in, circumcising young women and blah blah blah. You being a woman, right? And playing that character, what can you say to people who are watching right now? What is that thing that you have to say coming firsthand encountering something of this experience?
Firstly, I would say to the world and the women at large, there are some women out there who don't have the ability to escape those things because of probably family background or inheritance or thing. But I think my courage to you is do your best. Fight for what you want. You know what you want. Because you as a woman, you can continue going back. Ancient days, ancient days. Now we are in a modern day. So go for what is real and leave that thing of our old people. Yeah, that's just it.
I tell you, man, it's 2024. Go for what is more than now and forget all that Asian thing behind there. You're little thing. What tradition will understand, but you're leaf is small. Yeah, it coming from the chiefs, so then I mean say that the chiefs are cut you. So if the chiefs don't say leaf, leaf. But anyway, thank you so much. It was really nice having you. I appreciate your words of encouragement to the people out there, and thank you so much for being a part of this interesting movie.
Thank you too. I appreciate.
You're welcome. And there you have it. Many, many more people to interview. Stay with me and let's get talking to the people. He said he wanted 10 cows, 20 goats, 50 lappers. For what? They all came from the chief. And here's the chief in the movie. Chief, how are you, sir?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Please tell us your name, sir.
I'm Harris Gobert and I was playing the chief in the movie No Not Me.
So let's understand this chief character. So fun fact. What did you need other things for? The goat, the cow, the lapa. What you need that for?
Those are fines. When you break the law, you have to pay the fine. And no one is exception to the fine when it comes to the
But you couldn't reduce the fines more, sir?
I mean, the reduction version you saw there, so yeah, we have already reduced it. That way.
Wow. So just I don't know, like because I didn't get that part. Like which tribe or which was there a specific tribe you guys were portraying in the movie?
Yeah, well, not a specific tribe or a specific region.
Okay.
Yeah, a specific region we were portraying in the movie.
Okay. I mean, like you being a refined man, a man who have lived most of his life, I believe, in the city, and having to play that role. Like, what was one thing that struck you when you were given this character to play?
One of the things that struck me actually, it was the essence of this movie to create awareness. It was the awareness, I mean, that struck me actually to take this role in the movie and play it to the level for which I did.
And I think you did a really good job. I think you did a really your outfit. I mean, like your costume was just like very exciting. I would say it was regal. That would be the word.
Thank you.
So like, did you have a director, like a costume director or something of that sort, or you'd style yourself?
What would surprise you, it was my very first time.
Really?
So it's like I was just doing everything what I was told. Just do this, and just go ahead. It was just, I mean, a one-time thing.
So you've never acted before?
Not at all. That was my very first time and no practice. I mean, I was just doing what I was told at the moment to do, and I was just doing it.
Wow. Well, I mean, you did your thing, sir. You did a really good job. I appreciate you, and thank you so much. Well, there you have it. This is our chief, and he's saying this was his first time on a movie set, first time in a movie, first time playing a character, but he did a really good job. I want you to stick and stay with me. She is a goddess, okay? Like, when I listen to this woman and watch her on screen, I could only think, like, why did she not appear on screen long before today? But ma'am, please tell the audience your name.
My name is Miss Coco.
Miss Coco. I mean, like, the Oma voice just sweet. It's juicy. So, mommy, tell me, you were playing the mother of Precious,
Yes, I am.
and you had raised your daughter in a more refined environment, and now having her marrying into a very exactly a very traditional family. What was that like for you? Because that had, I know, historically has been a very huge issue, having status wise in our society. Like, could you explain to me what was that moment for you?
Oh, if you watched carefully, I did go there over my dead body. I couldn't imagine this happening to my daughter.
Right.
And we went there for it, and it didn't happen, and that was joy to my soul. And it instilled in her how I brought her up, so we managed to topple it. Okay, with the love of her husband, of Gus.
Right. So, you looking at this story and seeing the impact of this story in our society today, as a mother, as a friend, as a sister, as a daughter, as a child. What is that one thing you want to say to the larger society that that would instill a sense of this awareness campaign that we're trying to push? What is that one thing you want to say to people out there?
Well, I would like to tell them to put your foot down, and we have to stop this. We have to stop it. And we will not let the tradition make the rules for us. Do you understand? You have to feel your own, do what is right.
Right.
Okay? It has to stop. We have to be there for our young people.
That's really deep, really, really deep. Okay, well, thank you so much, Miss Coco. We appreciate your contribution to this. And are you, well? First of all, before you go, are you interested in doing more movies?
Definitely. I act every day. And I've been in movies.
Oh.
I've been in a couple of movies in Liberia.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's a
And
star.
I'm an artist.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a radio TV personality. I sing, I design, I sew. Oh, I'm advertising, huh?
She's a full package. She's a full package. Well, anyways, that's Miss Coco. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on here. This has been a KMTV exclusive, and I will see you guys at the next premiere.